There he is. The flash. Sorry about that. I don't know why the notification didn't come through, but we are here. All right, guys.
All righty.
Oh, shoot.
It should be your turn.
Okay, listen, man. It's been a long week. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Dom and Gonz Sports Talk. Gonz is here. I'm here. That must only mean one thing. Week 1 is here, and the Ravens play football tomorrow. We've been waiting a long time for this. It's been a long summer, a lot of training camp talk, a lot of draft talk, a lot of moments leading up to this very moment right here, Week 1. Gonz, how are you feeling, sir?
Well, it's time. The roster's set. The team's ready. The injury reports are out, and it's football night tomorrow here in America, as they say on NBC.
We love to see it. It's going to be fun. Week 1 kicks off with, as I mentioned earlier, Ravens face off against the reigning defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, we have a bone to pick with the Chiefs since they knocked us out of the playoffs last year. Now we're just going to talk expectations, what we want to see from this game, who's going to walk away with the dub. I mean, there's a lot of anticipation coming against this matchup, but obviously, win, lose, I don't really think it affects what we really want as the end goal. So obviously, we're going to just get started on offense here. Actually, no. Before we even get started with that, injury report, obviously, we only see 2 names, thankfully. And although not thankfully, because we don't want anybody to be hurt. But we're going into the game relatively healthy, Gonz.
Yeah, pretty healthy. There's only 2, Rasheen Ali, who's doubtful to play, and then, of course, Adisa Isaac is out for the game. But everyone else, full go. Chiefs, they have a lot of people on the report, but they're all full go. The only big, actually there's 2. It's not an injury, but he's going to be out for the game. The only one listed on the injury report was Hollywood Brown. Obviously, we knew he was going to be out because he had that shoulder surgery with that preseason injury. And then we also heard that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was going to be out. And then I read an article where they said it's a huge loss. I thought their premier back was Isaiah Pacheco. So I don't know. I feel like they'll be okay. Is that the team that signed Samaje Perine, or am I thinking something else?
The Chiefs did sign Samaje Perine as well. Yeah.
So I'm not sure about. I think he was on the report as well, but he might have been listed as one of those full participants. Chris Jones was on it, but again, all full. So I feel like the Ravens had a lot of those too, but since they don't release the injury reports until the season actually begins, which is just recently. I think that's the reason why ours looks so short and theirs looks so long, but they're all going to play aside from Hollywood Brown. So I'm good because don't forget we got Andrews who would have been on the report after that car accident if it existed. Same for Wiggins with the injury, with the the shoulder injury or whatever he was dealing with. So now the season started, injury reports are rolling, and ours looks pretty good. I mean, we're used to seeing lots of receipts, like, if you go to the grocery store and you buy 17 items and it gets to be over $100, we see the Ravens injury reports like that. Our Christmas lists, little kids' Christmas lists, we don't want them long. So it's good that they're short and sweet. 2 items, that's good. Quick little store run, only 2 items, $5 total. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. It's good to see it's very short. And let's keep it that way because that's what we want to see week in and week out, and that'll give the team the best chance to win. Before Dom goes, we do want to have a special shout-out. Today's a special day. And no, it's not Baltimore Ravens football eve. Yes, we already know it is, but it is our co-host's birthday today, right? So how old are you turning now?
I am the big 2-6.
Okay.
I'm turning 26 today.
26.
Get the walking
26.
chain out because
So,
I already feel that way.
Please leave a happy birthday in the comments for our co-host, or don't, because he's the responsible why we don't go live every week. I'm joking. I'm kidding. I knew you'd like that.
I have at least. I will definitely give myself like a 75% reasoning why we don't. So it's completely. He's not fully wrong, but at the same time, here nor there.
It's all good. It's fine. And like I said, I'll go live by myself if I have to. Anyway, Yeah, so it's a special day. Wish him happy birthday, and we hope that he's enjoying his not only day but week.
Yeah, man.
So
It's been nice.
he'll
Had the
be
week
able
off from work.
to watch a Ravens game during a off week. So wow, he can go crazy and go party or do whatever. I got work on Friday, so I can't go crazy. So I'm a little bit jealous. Um, but
Yeah, man.
anyway,
Took the week off in advance. I was like, it's I they always week one usually always falls on my birthday week. So I'm like, whenever I get this opportunity, just take the week off. Just enjoy the week, recoup. I don't use a lot of off time, so this is definitely that time. Just take a load off for a little bit. Enjoy the time that I have. I appreciate it. For everyone who showed me love today. Just gonna try to keep the train rolling. We're gonna keep it moving. But as far as the training, as far as the report goes, I am happy to see we are lacking injuries. Um, and I'm glad we go into this game fully healthy. I just want to see us, go 100%. Win lose, just us being 100% means a lot going into this because a lot of guys over training camp lost some key players during camp. So it was good to see us, not lose anybody and just be able to go into week one fully healthy, ready to go.
yeah.
So yeah, it's nice. It's nice. All right. So now we got the training camp. Oh, I mean, not training, but the injury report out of the way. Let's talk about what we want to see from this team tomorrow. I mean, there's so many moving pieces that are going to go into tomorrow. Some guys who will be playing their first game in a Ravens uniform. Some guys that we want to see step up from last year. I mean, the list can go on and on, but I want to start with this offense. I mean, for me, there's only a couple of things I need to see. A couple of things I want to see, and a couple of pairings that I want to see improved. First, this Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman connection. I just want to see that in full swing. They were talking great of each other over training camp. Lamar says that the chemistry has never been better. They've been working. They've been getting, their practice in. So I'm hoping that we see that. If Bateman has a great game tomorrow, I would be ecstatic. I really want to see that for him. I really just want to see him have a great year. We haven't seen a lot of them, with injuries,
Mhm.
and the chemistry hasn't always been there. So for me, I'm just excited to see him go, just be him. What I'm saying? No pressure, just go ahead, be you, and him and Lamar connecting more consistently than they did last year. Um, as well as we all know, Derrick Henry, first game as a Raven. He averages crazy yards against the Chiefs, so I'm hoping we can continue to see that tomorrow. Give him the ball. I mean, this is a
Mhm.
guy who's going to ask for the ball. You know what I mean? He's going to give you good carries, great gains. Protect him, give him the ball. Let's see what this offense looks like with that Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry pairing. Um, and then lastly, I just want to see what is going to be schemed for Likely and Andrews.
Okay.
We kept talking about it over the summer. We were like, okay, what are these two? We saw what Likely looked like without Andrews. We know what Andrews is like just by himself. He's a dominant force. But what is Monken doing to get these two involved together now that you see what they both can do? So I'm looking at the offensive schemes. I want to see what really is going to be in play for this team as far as the tight end position is concerned. But I'm excited because both of them are really big go get them pass catchers. So I can't wait to see what Monken has in store. So I think
And
when it comes to that, that's my top three.
good. And you know what I'm excited about is you didn't choose what I was going to say. So that's awesome. Offensive line. I am looking forward to see how this group goes. Okay? 3 new starters. Okay? The only guys that we have on anchor from last year, Ronnie Stanley, Tyler Linderbaum. And they're pretty damn good linemen, especially Tyler Linderbaum. Let's see how these go. Voorhees, how's he going to hold up? Cleveland, how he's going to hold up. Falele, I know he's been thrown into the rotation. I mean, and Makari, you're going to throw him into the rotation as well. What are they going to do to get themselves rolling? This is our engine. If the offensive line can roll, we should be fine on offense. If it doesn't, yikes. I'm nervous. I need them to pave the way to for Derrick Henry because in the preseason, I know it's just preseason, the running lanes were not there for the most part, and it was kind of a struggle. Our offense consisted of mainly just big passing plays that would go for touchdowns in the preseason. Shout out to Josh Johnson for hitting on those, though. Um, so that is probably my biggest. I know Dom gave you 3 things to watch for. I think mine is my one thing to watch for offensively. Now, I'll give you my keys to the game in a little bit, but as of things to look for, offensive line. If we can protect Lamar in the pass game, and if we can open up a little bit of holes for Henry to bounce through, I think we should be okay. Because then, obviously, if you get the run game going, you get the play action going. You can get a lot more creative. You can take some shots. You could do some gadgety plays because you know you're going to have time to. So it's really interesting to see how this new group is going to gel after the first week. This is their first week ever playing together. Okay, even in preseason, not all of these guys played. So this is their very first week with this combination, and I'm interested to see how the starting 5 go and if they're going to have to make adjustments during the game to account for Chris Jones, Karlaftis, Omenahu, whoever they got back there. So we'll see. Chenault, can't forget about him, 54. So we'll see what the Ravens have in store for us. But I feel like offensively, that is the biggest thing to watch for because you can't make all those other things that Dom mentioned happen if you can't block. So let's see it. Let's see how we do it. Let's see how we do it.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually brought that. So it is a good point because especially because with Linderbaum coming off that neck injury, it's just I hate the fact that his first matchup is against Chris Jones and those guys up front. But you know we do what we got to do. The offensive line, like you said, is the anchor. Now a lot of that stuff doesn't happen if they don't hold. So hopefully they can hold. I have faith in Linderbaum. I think Stanley, like we said before, when he's going, he's good. You know, he has his bad days, he has his good days. When those good days happen, I need him to have that good day tomorrow, for sure. But yeah, you're right. We need to see what this offensive line is going to do. I mean, I feel as though when it comes to the offensive line, I think we've had guys who've shown us that they can, you know, when it gets tough, they can hold, you know. So I think that when it comes to tomorrow, I think we should be okay. But you know, it's like you said, this is their first game together, so we have to see what that chemistry is looking like between all 5 of them. So we'll see what that lineup is going to look like tomorrow. All right,
Definitely.
so well, yeah. Now the offensive side of the ball is out of the way. Defense, it is quite literally,
Defense. Let's talk about it.
yeah, quite literally on the defensive side of the ball. The Chiefs have a new weapon on that side of the ball by the name of Xavier Worthy, who's pretty freaking fast. Okay, just broke the combine record for the 40-yard dash, by the way. Dude is a freaking speed demon. I mean, I think right now, as far as Mahomes goes, he hasn't had like that deep ball threat that can get down there with that sort of speed since Hill was on the team. Now you get a younger Hill type player back on your team with Kelsey, with Pacheco. I mean, I think right now, I feel like I'm not saying he needs to be the main focus on the defensive side of the ball, but he's definitely someone that we need to make sure we have safety help in the back end just in case, because we don't know what Andy Reid and those guys have planned for us tomorrow. I think also we need to focus on getting pressure on Mahomes. I just think that last year we held him scoreless in that second half. We kept Mahomes on his toes. We kept wide receivers covered. The run game didn't do too much in that second half last year. I think we were fine in that regard in that whole second half. I know we lost some defensive pieces last year. The defense is not the same, but I feel like the mindset is still the same as far as what we need to do to stop this team. Limiting the Mahomes magic and making sure Roquan said make the team one-dimensional. I kind of agree with that standpoint, but you know, I like with Mahomes being back there, anything is possible. So I just think limiting those big plays down the field, I feel as though making sure you have good coverage on Kelsey, because I don't care what anybody says, Kyle Hamilton played Kelsey as best as he could last year. And, you know, he gave up that touchdown last year in the first quarter. Even though he had great coverage on him, it's just not much you can do. It's just a great catch, great throw. But making sure you have great coverage on Kelsey. And I think we should be good. So I'd like pressure on Mahomes, limiting big plays, and making sure you have good coverage on Kelsey. I think we should be okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna go trenches again, offensive or defensive line this time. Control the line of scrimmage. Don't let them start pushing the pile. And I actually think that running the ball would be big because you don't want to get Pacheco going because that's just something else to defend. You know Mahomes is going to be good, but imagine if he could just hand it off and make life easy. Like, you want him to have to do it all. I think you want to have to force that Mahomes magic plays because if he's over there doing crazy stuff, throwing it behind his back or throwing it across the field, more chances for interceptions and turnovers. And that's one thing I want to highlight. Can we force some turnovers? It's week one. Not all these teams are going to be in sync. Both of these teams shouldn't be in sync. Can we force some errors? So that is probably my biggest thing, and that could be attributed to pressure too. I mean, stopping the run, getting pressure on Mahomes, make him do some silly stuff because he won't get away. He does some absolutely crazy stuff, as you guys know. I mean, and last year in the AFC Championship game, it was 3rd down and 6. He's hit, and he just chucks it to Kelsey, and he gets a diving catch and extends the drive, and they score their second touchdown. I mean, if he would have done that 3 more times, we would have had a nice chance for an interception, I think, because that was very ill-advised. Not to diss Mahomes, but he does some very ill-advised things at times. So while those are insane plays and people are like, oh, that's so good, those could easily get picked off. So, yeah, go ahead and throw it up underhanded or whatever you like to do. Throw it up for grabs. Only guy you got is Kelsey. Everyone else is smaller and speedsters. So throw it up to one of those guys and see if we can get a jump ball win with one of our tall corners, Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, Brandon Stevens, any of them to make a play on the football. Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams, Eddie Jackson. Who am I? I may be missing one or two, but you all know what I'm saying. Make him uncomfortable. Make him do the crazy stuff because you get more chance of a turnover. I
I
think.
I agree. I think we agree on the same thing here. Pressure on Mahomes is key to success. Now, I know that Mahomes tends to tear the blitz apart most of the time. So I'm hoping that, we can try to get to him with like a 4-man rush. I think that's really what's important because when we picked up Clowney and we got Van Noy last year, we got great pressure without blitzing. And I think that was really what helped our defense shine. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping that we can maintain that this year, even though we do not have Clowney, but we still have Van Noy. We still have Owe. We have Ojabo. Let's see if Ojabo can, try to show us something. Like just
Well,
we can.
think I also think we got to take this into account. This is Zachary Orr's first
It
game,
is.
first real game.
It
I know
is.
you did preseason, we yada yada whatever. This is his first game with this team in a regular season game that counts. There's going to be some hiccups, I think.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
there's going to be some lapses, but how will Zachary Orr respond? Is it going to be similar to what Mike McDonald said, or is he going to put his own little twist on things? I don't know. This is all stuff we're going to find out in not only this game, but in the coming weeks. So I'm excited to see how they handle it, how Zachary Orr handles this. They're going to disguise their pressure. I think you need to be real about it, though. You don't want to just – if you let Mahomes know you're blitzing, he's going to beat you. So do a good job with your disguises. Maybe send a corner off the edge or a blitzing safety or something in motion. I don't know. Just get creative so then you can maybe get some free shots on the quarterback when Mahomes is least expecting it. So it'll be interesting to see what Zachary Orr pulls out of the bag of tricks
I'm
tomorrow
actually
night.
really excited for Orr, and what I really like about the Orr having Orr as the DC is the fact that he knows the team. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's been around. He was on the staff last year for these past couple of years. He's been with McDonald. He's learned under the ropes. He's worked with this defense. You know what I mean? He knows the ins
Mm-hmm.
and outs of what this team can do, whether it's blitzing, whether it's coverage. Like he knows. So I think and you bring up amazing points as far as like disguising those coverages, like making sure Mahomes doesn't know all the time that we might be blitzing, that we might be bringing someone out the corner, that the safety might be coming down the court. Like it's just so many things we can do. I think McDonald, knowing the personnel that he has and knowing who to utilize, where, how, why, I think that it plays a big part in us getting executing a great defensive scheme. And I think that he's going to do a
Mm-hmm.
really good job of that and I love the fact that he's homegrown. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's been here. He's played for the Ravens. He knows us. And I think that with
Yep.
that, I don't have too much worry about what he plans to do tomorrow. I think he's going to do a good job of, trying to confuse Mahomes, which might be easier said than done because it's who Mahomes is. But I'm looking forward to it. I really think that he's going to bring some pressure, and I really think that he's not going to be somebody to sleep on this year. I'm hoping so. And I think he's going to show us tomorrow. I know it's not going to be all peaches and rainbows and sunshine. I know it's going to definitely be some plays where he might give some stuff up because nobody plays a perfect game when it comes to this Chiefs team. But I think tomorrow he's going to show us something, especially with this personnel that we have. He's no longer working with the third stringers, fourth stringers. He's working with some starters who make big plays. So I think we're going to see something big.
Well, obviously this is only week 1, so you can't press any panic buttons after week 1 for whatever happens. But I do expect some lapses. But you got to give Orr a chance. You got to let him settle in. I would give him maybe 5 or 6 weeks, and then we'll really know kind of where we're at with this coordinator and this defense in general, for the most part. So I'm not going to judge too much off it tomorrow, because you got to strive for consistency. But only thing I would be a little bit panicked about is if we just go out there and we just get our ass beat on both sides of the ball. So I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, well, more to come on that in a little bit. But yeah, don't judge a book until you read 6 chapters of it.
You
by
bring
its
up
cover.
you
Don't
bring up
judge a book by its cover.
you bring up
But
great
that's
points.
different. That's a little bit of a different saying. That's why I said 6 chapters.
Yeah, you bring up,
because that's about like
but
being
you
ugly.
but you bring up great points. I mean, you hit it on the nose. Like we cannot, no matter what happens after this game, we cannot just judge or off of week 1. Just I think we have, like you said, we have to give him that chance to show us, what he plans to do. Not every opponent is going to be the same. Not every defensive game plan is going to be the same for every team. So I think we just see how he develops, see how he evolves with each matchup, and then when we get to the end of the season, we're going to kind of get to that playoff time. We can give an evaluation on how we feel about him. But for now, like you said, let's see what he can do. Give him a couple of weeks and let him show us what he got. Like I said, I'm excited to see it. I really think that he's going to do a really, really good job. So, and I'm hoping that, I'm right. And I know Ravens flock wants to see him do great. So, I'm rooting for him, and I'm rooting for this defense.
Right. Completely agree. All
Yeah.
right, well, I think it's time to give our keys to the game on both of our sides, and then at last, our first score predictions of the year. So you already kind of know. You get a preview of what I did, of what I'm going to say if you were listening earlier. I mean, pass protection or offensive line, just blocking on offense. That's my first one. Can we pave the way for Derrick Henry, and can we keep Jackson upright for the most part? Now, I know he's going to be under some pressure because, these guys are young. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to need to gel. But growing pains are different than all-out struggle fests. So we'll see what's going on with that. That is probably my biggest key to the game is offensive line play, run blocking and pass blocking. So there's your first one. Second, force mistakes. So that has to do with pass rush. But I think, like I was telling you, if you make Mahomes do a lot of crap on the run, it could be turnover prone. So can we get after him? Can we get some freebies? Can we get a fumble? It's week 1. I mean, it's more than just pressuring Mahomes. What if people just can't hold on to the ball because they're not used to playing? Can we just get some turnovers to help set us up with some short fields? Stop deep Chiefs drives, whatever happens. But I think we need to get a couple of those if we're going to pull off the upset, because actually Chiefs are favored. So technically it would be an upset. So that's probably my second one. And then my third one, I would have to go with run the damn ball. Okay? I don't care if the line is struggling. Run it. You have Derrick Henry. Their defense is susceptible to the run. So just try it. Okay? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You got Derrick Henry. You got King Henry. There's no excuse why you shouldn't be running the ball. I'm sorry. There's none. I mean, you got to run the ball on this team. The more times you run the ball, the more clock drips. And you know what happens when the more clock drips? The less time Mahomes is on the field. Run the damn ball. You got Henry. Use him. You signed him for 2 years. You paid a little bit, but you didn't pay something crazy. So use him. Okay? He's probably the best running back we've almost ever had in Baltimore. Recently, aside from Jamal Lewis. But you all know what I'm talking about. We've always just picked up these journeyman guys or developed in-house talents, and that was worked. I mean, Gus Edwards, undrafted. J.K. Dobbins wasn't a draft pick. He was pretty good. Keaton Mitchell, undrafted. But they went out and they signed a premier running back. That's something we never do. Okay? Use him, please. I need to see. That doesn't mean run him 30 times. You can split it with Justice Hill. Run the ball. Just attack the defense in a smart way. Don't get caught up in what you guys do. What you guys do pretty much all the time you play the Chiefs, and that is try to beat someone you're not. Run the ball. That'll open up the pass. It'll take more pressure off Lamar, and you'll be fine. So there's my 3 keys. Block. Force some mistakes. Get some turnovers. Run the fucking ball. Sorry, excuse my language. But I'm having flashbacks of the old Ravens. Be who you are. Okay? Don't try to be like you're someone you're not. You're not the Peyton Manning 2013 Broncos who were just air-mailing everything. Okay? Run it. Run the football. That's my 3.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you hit it on the nose, but I'm gonna try. I think my keys are gonna be more like mental keys going into this game. Listen, we know what happened last year. Okay, it's not a secret. The Chiefs came into Baltimore. They knocked us out of the playoffs. They went to the bowl. That happened last year. This is a brand new year. The slate is wiped clean. Everybody is 0-0. This is week 1. Do not let last year hinder you from playing tomorrow night. Zay Flowers said in a recent after practice recently, last year is behind me. This is a new year, new start. The team hopefully has adopted that mentality and is ready to go into tomorrow to try to get a win. I know this team has a tendency to try to poke our nerves. They did it last year, and they did it successfully because we definitely got into it with a little bit last year. Do not let them work your nerves. Stay calm, stay patient, work the game plan, and just try to get into the end zone as many times as possible and get as many stops as possible. That's 2. 3, win the game. I think that's the biggest key. I think, like, mind you, winning the game tomorrow does not wipe what happened last year, but it will be a good way to get some momentum carrying into the beginning half of this season. You get the win, and don't let them trip up your mind. Just go in there, calm, focused, calm, cool, collected, and just try to get the dub. That's all that matters. Train the brains to not let them, because you saw what they did to Justin Tucker last year, trying to get on him. So just try to like maintain your focus. I think that's the biggest part here. Play your guys' game. Give Derrick Henry the football. Lamar, just be Lamar. Don't try to be anybody else. Be you. You see an open lane that you can take off and run for, go. You don't try to don't let these media meatheads try to talk you into doing something that it's okay to do. Go ahead, take off, slide, do what you have to do. You see an open lane. These guys can't even catch you. They can't catch you. Just go. Be who you are.
And he's faster. He
slimmed down. He's faster. Be who you are, bro. That's what got you here. That's what got you 2 MVPs. That's what got you guys to the playoffs multiple times, because you were who you are. A dynamic quarterback who can get up and down the field with not a lot of punishment going towards you. So just be you. You don't have to get in an air off throwing the ball with Mahomes. Mahomes can't do what you do. He can't. And I'm not going to lie, he can do a lot of great things, but he can't do what you can do. He's not out here juking defenders like you can do it. I've seen you make more people miss than freaking somebody trying to, I don't know. You get the point, though. You made a lot of people miss, okay? Like, just be you, all right? And we'll win this game, and we'll be just fine. I think those are my 3 keys. Just mentally stay focused.
All right. So Dom's more of the mental side. I'm more of the physical side. So that's cool. All right. Score predictions. It's your birthday, so you can go first.
First score prediction of the year. Oh, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not expecting a whole lot of offense tomorrow.
From both
I'm not expecting
teams or the Ravens?
I think from both teams in general.
Okay.
I'm not expecting a whole lot of offense. If I had to pick, I think I'm going. I think I'll go 20-17 Ravens. I'm gonna go 20-17 Ravens.
Okay. A Justin Tucker winning field goal? Or
I think
does it
Justin
stop at
Tucker
the
wins
end?
it. I think Justin Tucker wins it for us. I think Lamar gets us down the field with seconds to spare, and he kicks it for us to get the dub.
I really want to pick us to win, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. That's not to say the season's a failure, so don't pounce on me for being negative, but I just think it's too much to overcome as a new offensive line. I just think they're going to surrender some pretty bad plays. Lamar's going to get sacked a couple times. We might even turn it over due to that, a strip fumble. I mean, I just, if this line can sustain, then we can for sure win the game. And we still can win the game. But I'm going to have to go 21-17 Kansas City. I think we keep it close, but we can't quite get it done. But I think we still can have a chance to beat them down the road. Okay? I don't think it's over. I just think it's asking a lot of us right now. I mean, we just lost to this team. It's evil to make us go on the road. And then we have a complete revamp on the offensive line, and it's going to be a lot. New coordinator. I know he's young, but he's never been coached a defense before. He's just been kind of like he was a linebackers coach with Baltimore. I know he played on him, but it's new when you're a new coordinator. I mean, it's different. It's not the same. You got a lot more power. So I just think there's too many new things going on right now, and this team won't completely gel until a little bit later down the road, which is what you want to see. You don't want to peak at the right time. So I'm not trying to be negative, but I think the Chiefs take this one 21-17, but I'd love to be wrong. And I could be wrong. I could see us winning this game. If things go our way, we're just doing a prediction here. I was wrong plenty of times last year. So it's cool with me.
Hey, man. Like we said, it's only week 1. We're just trying to get to January. That's what matters right now.
Yes.
That's what matters.
I'm excited to watch Henry. If they use him and they block well, I mean, who knows?
Who knows what we can do?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Agreed.
All right, guys. The time is upon us. It is Thursday night football, week 1, Ravens Chiefs. Let us know who you think is taking the dub. How many yards is Henry going to rush for? What is Lamar passing for? Let us know your predictions down below in the comments. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of Dom and Gonz Sports Talk. Gonz, anything else before we get up out of here?
Just one quick note on my last point. Remember the Texans game. That's a young Houston team, but how rusty we were coming out. I wouldn't expect too much different.
Yeah, that's why I said it might not be a lot of offense on the.
But anyway, yeah, that's all.
We'll see.
I'm still excited to watch the game. I can't wait. It's gonna be. It's been way too long since Ravens football. So excited to bring it back. So yeah.
I'm happy. Football is back, baby. We are here. We are live. If you guys like the content, please don't forget to like, share it, follow, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. And we will see you guys post Thursday night football to give you our post game analysis. Again, I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We'll see you after Thursday. Go Ravens.
Yes, you remembered. Let's go Baltimore.